Well, folks, it seems America's favorite pastime, watching politicians fumble a budget, is back with a vengeance, once again. Yes, the government shutdown looms large, like a fiscal cliff with a side of constitutional crisis. And who better to orchestrate this symphony of dysfunction than our old friend Donald J. Trump? The man who once declared bankruptcy 6 times is now threatening to bankrupt the entire government. His target? A bipartisan spending bill. You know, the kind of legislative compromise that used to be as common as a Starbucks on every corner, but apparently in Trump's America, bipartisanship is about as welcome as a vegan at a Texas BBQ. So buckle up, buttercups, because we're about to dive into the murky depths of political brinkmanship, where the stakes are high, the tempers are higher, and the only thing more predictable than a Trump tweet is the impending sense of doom. Stay tuned, everyone. Let's be clear, this wasn't some backroom deal cut by shadowy figures in smoke-filled rooms. This was a transparent, above-board negotiation. This spending bill had it all: disaster relief, healthcare extensions, the works. It was a comprehensive package. It was the legislative equivalent of a Costco sample platter, something for everyone, and enough to keep the government running like a well-oiled machine, or at least a moderately functional one. Democrats were on board. Republicans were on board. It was a rare moment of unity. Even the janitors cleaning up after Congress were probably nodding in agreement. It was that universally accepted. But then, like a toddler throwing a tantrum over a lukewarm sippy cup, Trump entered the chat. His presence changed everything. And suddenly, this perfectly cromulent compromise became public enemy number 1. The atmosphere shifted dramatically. Because see, Trump doesn't do nuance. He doesn't do compromise. He does drama. And he does it well. And what's more dramatic than holding the entire government hostage over a spending bill that by all accounts was perfectly reasonable? Nothing, that's what, at least not according to the twisted logic of Trump and his enablers. They thrived on chaos. So, what exactly are Trump's demands? Well, aside from the usual ego-stroking and demands for unwavering loyalty, he wants a tougher approach to spending, a stance that he believes will resonate with his base. Because, nothing screams fiscal responsibility like a guy who once spent $60,000 on a portrait of himself. He also wants the debt ceiling linked to the spending bill, essentially holding the country's credit rating hostage in exchange for, well, it's not entirely clear what he wants in exchange. Perhaps a pony, a lifetime supply of Diet Coke, the soul of his political enemies. Honestly, at this point, who knows what he truly wants? And if those demands weren't enough, he's also threatened to primary any Republican who dares to defy him. Because, as we all know, the best way to ensure fiscal responsibility is to throw the entire Republican Party into chaos and disarray. It's like he's actively trying to lose the next election, which, knowing Trump, is entirely within the realm of possibility. Section 4. Republicans in disarray. Between a shutdown and a hard place, there's Trump's Twitter feed. Meanwhile, Republicans are caught between a rock and a very orange, very loud hard place, with no easy way out. On the one hand, they know this shutdown is a terrible idea fraught with numerous risks. It'll hurt the economy, disrupt essential services, and make them look like incompetent fools in the eyes of the public. On the other hand, they're terrified of Trump and his relentless Twitter fingers. So, they're left with a choice: stand up to their party's leader and risk facing his wrath, or cave to his demands and risk looking like spineless sycophants, losing public trust. It's a lose-lose situation, and the only winners are the Democrats, who get to sit back and watch the GOP tear itself apart from the inside out, with a sense of satisfaction. It's enough to make you wonder if there's anyone in Washington with a spine, or any sense of responsibility, or, failing that, a functioning prefrontal cortex to navigate this mess. Because this whole situation is just plain bonkers, even by the already bonkers standards of American politics, which never cease to amaze.